It's a hot topic of conversation right now, but let's just go ahead, set the record straight. It's Friday, so you know we got to come strong. We're going to be talking about that game of spades, full house. Even though I've talked about this before and I've had a decant of this and I've talked about this on live streams, I realize I've never really done a full review, and I'm still not going to necessarily do a full review because I know the question everybody wants to know. How does this compare to this right here? Haramain, Amber Oud, Aqua Dubai. So it's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get right to it. We're going to see which one of these, both of them being the best out there. Both of these minimum baseline is a 95% as far as smell comparison to Louis Vuitton's Imagination. We're not talking about Fragrance World versions. I'm not even talking about Yeoman Leo's version. We're not talking about Alexandria. We're not talking about Paris Corner. We're talking about two of the absolute best right here. Which one is going to reign supreme on this Good Friday? Let's talk about it.
Jello Beats, holla at me.
Yeah, said it's Fat Boy Friday. Fat Boy family, come swing my way. Let me tell you about the best fragrance of the day. And you don't like it, shorty, you can hit the highway. But on your way out, please hit that like button. Hit subscribe, pump it up, baby Joe button. Still staying true to this old fragrance game. It's Fat Boy Finesse, baby, ain't nothing changed. Yeah, I said it's Fat Boy Friday. Hey, I said it's Fat Boy Friday. Hey, I said it's Fat Boy Friday. Guess what? It's Fat Boy Friday. You know what it is. It's Fat Boy Friday. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have had an amazing week. I hope you're like me. You're getting some sunshine in your life. You are over that snow. I hope you're having an amazing Friday. Great start to your weekend. If you're just coming by, I appreciate it. Feel free, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. While you're at it, go ahead and click that bell so you can be notified every single time I post new content to the channel. But let's go ahead, jump right into today's conversation. So let me just go ahead and do this. Let me get this out the way because again, I have not done a full fragrance review specifically of this, and you guys know how much I love Joe Milano Full House. And like I said, I've had a sample of this decant. We talked about this when this first dropped, but I realized, hey, I did a full review specifically for Aqua Dubai. I have not done it for this, but I know what the people really want to know. You know what I'm saying? I've talked previously about the Trois, you know what I'm saying, from Paris Corner. Even though I have not talked about it, and it holds its own, but we have that Art of Arabia one. You know what I'm saying? I've also smelled Fragrance World's version. I've also smelled Alexandria's version from other people. Yeoman Leo has a version as well that I've also gotten a chance to put my nose on from one of my boys. And I'm like, all of those are good, but to me, there are only two you really need to be choosing from. And that's the two that I'm gonna mention today. But I do want to do the Game of Spades Full House justice. So for those of you who have never seen it, this is the box, this is the presentation. Nice luxury presentation that you're going to get. That nice Charlotte Hornets color. And then you open the box and that's how it actually sits. One of the reasons I really love Joe Milano is the details on their bottle. You see that cap right there? You got the Game of Spades. Their newer bottles, the opal is actually like shaped in a heart. So it's real dope. And you see the color, you know what I'm saying, of the bottle, giving you the hint on that juice specifically. All right. And then you got the small details like the JM on the atomizer. And then you already know, best atomizer in the game. Woo. Y'all see that pressure. Now, let's really get to the notes, you know what I'm saying, and the scent breakdown. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna spray this on hand. That's on my left hand. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna also go ahead and spray the Aqua Dubai, who has a nice atomizer as well. Woo! We're gonna spray that on the right hand, all right? And so we're really gonna talk about smell with the Full House because I'm gonna say out the gate, I think as it relates to smell, to closeness to Louis Vuitton's Imagination, I hate to say this, but Joe Milano Game of Spades Full House is the closest in smell from opening to dry down. The closeness in smell only. When it comes to DNA, if you are looking for the closest in smell from opening to dry down, you want to go with Joe Milano Game of Spades Full House. Because I know y'all don't like watching all of my content, all the videos, so let me just go ahead and tell you that. Now, there's some other reasons why I would actually go with Aqua Dubai. But as it relates to smell, the biggest difference between Imagination and Full House is the neroli. Now, shout out to Full House. I'm gonna try to put the notes on the screen so you can see that. It won't be in the same representation that Aqua Dubai is because all of their stuff is not on Fragrantica. But the biggest difference is going to be in the neroli, where you still get a sweeter representation of that Imagination DNA, but you do not get that neroli like you do in the Imagination. Even though it's there, the neroli kind of comes off stronger. Well, slightly stronger, slightly more present. It is more visible to the nose. It is more present to the nose in Imagination. And the only reason I'm not pulling out my Imagination decant is because it is basically about gone. So we holding on for dear life there. So I definitely need to re-up. I'll have no reason to buy a full bottle because we have these right here. But yeah, one of y'all want to send me 10 meals. Let me get that. But yeah, it's the neroli. So you still get that nice smoothness with the bergamot. And they also have that citron, you know what I'm saying? Imagination can come off very, I don't want to say very watery, but it can come off kind of watery. Like it's more of an aquatic, you get more of that water in there. Whereas with both of these, you get more fragrance, more oil content, you know, so to speak, where there's a little bit extra sweetness. There's a little bit extra oomph there. But again, the Game of Spades Full House, from the opening to the heart to the dry down, again, you get more of a closer representation specifically to Imagination. Now, Aqua Dubai, once you actually get to the dry down, you're going to get more of that closer representation. But here's the biggest difference. Here's the biggest difference between this one and Imagination. This is super soapy. Now, I know fragrance is subjective, but I don't think anybody will argue that one of the things about Haramain, they do a very good job. I mean, honestly, people forget Joe Milano has been going crazy, you know, over the past year or so. People forgot the level of quality that Haramain puts out when it comes to just punching above their weight class. But with this, you get more. It is so much soapier on my skin, like way soapier. Like way soapier when it comes to the Aqua Dubai versus not just the Full House, but the Imagination itself. And you get more of that presence of citrus. So that citrus presence is a lot. You can tell it punches a little bit harder specifically. Now it's like, versus the other two fragrances. That's going to be the biggest difference, all right, as it relates to smell. Because I know that's what people really care about most, is which one smells the same. So to me, if we're talking about as far as DNA, which one is closer, this one is closer to Imagination. Like I said, both of them a little bit sweeter. The slight sweetness is amped up. You're missing some of that neroli that you get in Imagination with Full House. But then you take this over here, the soapiness of it is super amped up. So that's gonna be the biggest difference. Like I told y'all when I did this video, this smells like the richest shower known to mankind. If you wanna smell like bath, if you wanna smell like shower, if you just wanna smell amazing, this right here is absolutely crazy work. All right, now I'm just gonna read off the notes specifically for the Full House, just so we can do our due justice. In the top, we got that Calabrian bergamot, that Sicilian orange, and that Sicilian citron. I do love the way the orange is done specifically, not just in Imagination, but in Full House as well. I think it gives it that boost, that sweetness, that level of citrus that it does. But to me, the orange is dialed up just a little bit, which is where more of that sweetness is coming from. In the heart, you get that Tunisian neroli, ginger, and that actual cinnamon, that Ceylon cinnamon. And then in the base, you got ambroxan, Chinese black tea, olibanum, and then you got that Gaiac wood. All right. Now, as it relates to Aqua Dubai, in the top, you have bergamot, green notes, and that mandarin orange. Now, to me, that green notes is what has to be pushing this soapiness, because you would think a lot of that soapiness would come from something like lavender, but it's not lavender specifically in this. You know what I'm saying? So whatever those green notes are really giving this a very soapy feel, and it is amped up. All right. And then in the middle, you got amber, melon, blackcurrant, and pineapple. Definitely the melon is kind of the underrated star of the show, because I think it gives it a level of twist here that keeps pushing the rest of that citrus that I think definitely does, you know, kind of give it something, just a slight bit twist that makes this closer. Like I said, so to me, this is like 97, 96, 97 in closeness, where I would give this like a 94, 95, like baseline 95 for both of those. And then in the base, you got that musk, petitgrain, gallivanum, and vanilla. You know what I'm saying? So let's jump over specifically to performance, because that's going to be the next thing. So y'all really care about the scent DNA closeness, and then let's talk about the performance closeness. One of the things I will say is Game of Spades Full House. This is super smooth. Coming on the skin, everything is well blended, and it speaks to the quality of what Game of Spades has been able to pull off. This Full House, again, is well blended. There are not things that are going to jump out and stick out more than the other thing. That's why I say in closeness is well blended. And you get, again, that sweeter take. It's almost like you get more of that musk or whatever in the top, but we know that's not necessarily the case. And then when you look at the Haramain, like I said, it punches. It doesn't punch you and slap you, but it's like, oh, wow, I wasn't expecting that. And you get a stronger bite. You get a stronger bite. You know what I'm saying? So think of, you have two dogs. You know what I'm saying? You got like a Labrador retriever, and then you got like let's say a greyhound or something like that, because these aren't like vicious. Imagination is not a vicious scent. So that's why we're gonna compare a Labrador retriever to like, what's another big dog, some other big family dog, you know, because these are the type of fragrances they are. But one just has a stronger bite. This has the stronger bite. This definitely has the stronger bite as it relates to that performance and that strength, which also helps in the longevity as well. Again, I know fragrance is subjective, but on my skin, this right here, minimum of 8 hours. I have worn this several times and I have gotten no less than 8 hours. The most that I have recognized on skin is roughly about 10 hours. And then, but y'all also know my hygiene regimen is different. So I'm a huge believer in moisturizing this, that, and the third. So when some of y'all say I didn't get that, check yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because we might not be doing the same thing. We might not be eating the same things. You can clearly see I like to eat, but it don't mean that I eat unhealthy, this, that, and the third, whatever. You might be on medication. That's a whole nother conversation. Medication can change your chemistry and all those different kinds of things. Nonetheless, on clothes, definitely it's going to linger. And then I think that's the biggest thing where people have a gripe with Louis Vuitton fragrances, because they don't necessarily get all of the longevity based on the price. If you're paying upwards of $300-400 for a fragrance, you're like, man, this thing has to last. And Imagination doesn't really have a problem lasting, but it cannot compete, quite frankly, in my opinion, with either of these. But neither one of them can compete with this. This super, the longevity on this is going to be crazy. Minimum 8 to 10 hours, minimum 8 to 10 hours, and even longer on your clothes. On this one right here, we're talking around about 7 hours. That's the only downside. Even though I love the fact that this is closer in smell, it does not last anywhere near as long as this does. The sillage on this, the projection on this is double this. This is good. I promise you, this is good. Like, it holds its own. It is great, but this is double. And if you know, you know. Now, some of y'all gonna die on this hill. Some of y'all gonna bring in Fragrance World. Some of y'all gonna bring in Lattafa. And it's amazing to me how people be like, it ain't better than this. I'm like, do you have all of them? Have you tried all of them? You haven't. So your opinion is not warranted in this conversation. I understand that you want to be right because you spent your money on that one fragrance. But if you are not able to compare them to the other fragrances, then you really have no clue. So I appreciate the fact that you're going to ride for Fragrance World. You're going to ride for Lattafa. You're going to ride for Alexandria. But until you have all of them and you've done a comparison and we trust that, yeah, you got to get out of here. We talking about two of the best. This is Tyson and Holyfield in their prime. This is Ali Frazier. You know what I'm saying? These are the best of the best. Heavyweight championship of the world. But the sillage on this is amazing. The projection on this is amazing. The longevity on this is amazing. Now, really, we kind of started with this. How is the sillage on this? The sillage is good. The projection is good. You're talking in the first 2 to 3 hours, you're going to get nice projection, nice sillage, just that in the third. It still cannot compete with this right here. This is going to turn heads. Whoever you are around, people is going to walk behind you. They're going to be like, what in the world is going on? And that's going to last a strong 3 to 4 hours. Like that projection is going to happen at least a strong 3 to 4 hours. And if you're doing like I do and you got the oil from the oil lady, all of that, this, that, and the third, it's just going to take it to a whole nother level. That's what I'm saying. Y'all get at me, holla at your boy. But so those are going to be the main differences. I don't think you can go wrong with getting either one. It's redundant clearly to have both. Somebody's going to ask me, is it redundant to have both? Yes, it is redundant to have both. Is it redundant to get one of these if you have another? I think if you have the Yeoman version, stick with Yeoman. I think if you have the Alexandria version, stick with Alexandria. I think even if you have Lattafa Art of Arabia 1, which I'm probably going to do a separate review on next week, which will kind of be repetitive because then people going to see that video and then how does it compare to this one? I'll be like, did you not watch this video? And you guys already know I've done a video on the Paris Corner Trois or whatever. I think the Lattafa Arabia 1 is okay. Like, it's not bad. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably enjoyed the opening on that probably more than these two, but that was it. That's where it stopped. After that, everything else is kind of like, okay, it kind of falls off. So yeah, so it's not redundant if you own the Alexandria one, or it's redundant if you own the Alexandria one, or if you own the Yeoman version. Anything outside of that, I think it's worth picking up either one of these. Now that's the other thing. I got this specifically from Perfume Box. This was, let me see, Amazon, we talking $80. Perfume Box, did I pay $80? I mean, you talking right now, roughly, LaBelle. I mean, it's been sold out everywhere. So you're paying roughly $80 specifically for that versus Aqua Dubai. I got this from Fragrance by Haramain, Aqua Dubai. Did I get mine? I got mine from Fragrance by. I think I got it from Fragrance by. I could have lied on that. I'm pretty sure I got that from Fragrance. I'm pretty sure I got it from Fragrance by. But you can get it anyway. I'll post that link wherever I got it from. You can get this from Amazon, $45, Jumbo Shop, $47. Let me not lie to y'all. I could have sworn I got this joint. I don't even remember the video. Yeah, I got it. So $38.76. $38.76, even though it's sold out right now on Fragrance Buy, versus basically this is $80. You know what I'm saying? Versus $400 from Louis Vuitton, if you're not buying from discounters or whatever. So, I've been running my mouth. This is one of the longer videos I've done, even though I'm doing a comparison. But yeah, so that could change your tune, because if you can't get this, even though this is a closer representation in smell, is it worth the extra $40 you're going to pay for this versus on trying to get this? That's what I'm saying. Both of them get a 95. Both of them get a 95. This just wins in every category to me except for the actual DNA. Like, this is a more soapier DNA. That's the biggest thing. This is a more soapier DNA. Both of these are slightly sweeter than Imagination to my nose, in my opinion. But the biggest difference between these two, if we're just talking about scent closeness, is this is soapier. Suit 10 times. This is soapy, and not in a bad way. It's just super smoke. Those green notes in there, whatever is specifically in there, is making this a lot soapier. So that's the biggest difference. But I know this is a huge topic of conversation. It is getting ready to get warm. One of the most popular fragrances for the springtime, for the summertime, is Imagination. So people is like, yo, what's the best Imagination clone out there? So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in it. So yeah, holla at your boy. Let me know. Smash. If you've been watching that long, you're part of the family. So hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. While you're at it, click that bell so you can be notified every single time I post new content to the channel. But yeah, man, let's go into the weekend slamming. I hope you guys have a nice warm, maybe the temperature start to pick up here. We can get rid of some of this snow. But holla at your boy. Let me know in the comments. What do you have? Don't y'all come talking to me crazy about, as I know it's gonna happen, because some of y'all is not gonna watch the video, and I will still respond to you. And some of y'all, I just scratch my head. But let me know as far as these two, as far as Ali Frazier, Tyson, Holyfield. I'm about to say Hollywood. Which one are you rocking with? Which one are you rocking with? All right. Until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video. It's Fat Boy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.